dear. I fear I'm not beating the sleepy bitch allegations. Oh. Too sleepy. Anyway. Hello, hi. Hi, hello, hello, hi. Oh, my voice is still a little fucked. Okay, that's cool. Well, we're here. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Justice for All. Last time, we finished the investigation for Turnabout Big Top. And, somebody was claiming Regina to be a killer. Someone has a grudge. Wonder who it could be. And we learned that Edgeworth left with a note that said Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. But Francisca thinks he's still alive. Regardless, Phoenix is pretty fucked over it. He's pretty sad about it. But it doesn't matter right now. We need to finish this case. You know. Voices might be a little rough. I guess I'm still recovering. You know what? That makes sense. I went to karaoke on Sunday, and then I talked like most of yesterday because my friend came over and we were giggling. Anyway, let's get into this. Yeah, I'm also just the sleepiest, unfortunately. I gotta remember everybody's voices again. Oy. I can't wait for this case to be over just so I don't have to do all their voices anymore. But you're okay, Maya. Good morning, Max! Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Teehee. Oh.
Teehee. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk.
Why do you have that with you?
Regina!
How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today?
Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this.
Mo said that?
So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end?
It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties?
Huh?
I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is.
Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience.
Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there.
Good luck, Max. You're the best.
Hi, Nim. How are you?
Regina's different, don't you think, Nick?
I mean, she's not been exposed to any of this before. It's just like Pearly. Oh. Top of the morning to ya. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Fang is attacking the pickle at this very moment. Hooray! I'm so glad it was a successful purchase. Mo. Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my. Thanks. So how are you today, right? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro?
Huh? You think he did?
Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can with other witnesses. As for you, you are sleepy. Same! Hey, exactly the same. At the beginning of the stream, I was like, I fear I am not being the sleepy bitch allegations.
What are you gonna do then, Nick?
I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth.
You're right, but it's gonna be tough.
Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want us to make sure Regina watches?
Yes. That's why I brought her here to the court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. I do feel bad for Regina. Actually, just before this, I was watching a video about JoJo Siwa and, like, her whole deal. There's actually some similarities. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Ms. Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Order, order. I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. I think I gave him kind of a soft guy voice. Name and occupation. Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Very Big Circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. Also, if I need to turn up my voice at any point, let me know, because my voice is weaker today, and I'm doing a lot of softer voices. So just let me know. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. It was just after 10 o'clock p.m., and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Ms. Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Worsties-in-law. I do love them so. Alright. You said that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you had turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. We did see those. It's so bright, sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. Relatable. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Or get a sleep mask. Ouch! The witness will proceed with his testimony. Because sometimes curtains aren't enough. You get the little gaps through. Speaking from experience living next to a busy road. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed. That is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside? Yeah, I was indeed. Pressing acro doesn't seem to get results. But maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now. So my thing is how... Okay, let's just be annoying. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. I'm lying. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? Okay. Something about this is wrong to me, but I don't know how to prove it with evidence. Like... This... What in the world is this? Ow. You just don't get it, do you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What don't I get? You're not going to be able to get through this one with your usual bluff routine. Your client looks to be ready to take off once again, straight towards a guilty verdict. You're bluffing? I will not forgive any more mockeries made of this court. Whoops. Witness, would you mind repeating your testimony? Certainly. So, like, the thing is, okay, let's, like, how much could he really have seen? Like, I would believe that he heard it. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. Like, how much was he really able to see from his bed from the window? Because he can't get up and go look. But I don't know, maybe that has nothing to do with that particular statement. That's just me overthinking this. Because I know the direction this will eventually go in, but I don't remember the details of how we get there. And this may just be a thought that I had that never gets addressed. There are some of those in these games. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. Damn, I just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. Oh, okay, I'll tread lightly again. It's Max Galactica. Only saw him from behind, but that's what it looked like. Okay. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window? The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. That I believe. Safety lights are pretty bright. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy with this latest bit of testimony. I'm gonna say nothing wrong, but that one I do want to come back to later. Okay, it's about your dreaming. When did you start thinking that what you saw wasn't a dream? That's not important. Yeah, I believe that the prosecution has done a bit of maintenance on the witness's memory. Just to make sure, let's ask the witness. Ow! Objection! Sustained. Don't sustain that.
Acro must be lying about what he saw, right?
Of course he is. Now the challenge will be to expose his lies in court.
I'll put the pedal to the metal, Nick!
Okay. Blah blah. Heard the thump. You saw someone flying. So it's one of these two, I think. Okay, go back to you. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. You didn't see any of the symbols. Do we have most testimony? I don't think we do we? They just expect me to remember it. That's foolish. Okay, yes, this is wrong because the hat. Okay. Yes, there was a contradiction. He shouldn't have been able to see the hat. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. Give me evidence, then. Prove it with evidence, you fucking idiot. You fool. She just stopped saying fool because she's so angry. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw last night. Or Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was tough enough challenge for me. Yeah, don't be ableist, Phoenix. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has two silk hats? No. My brother in Christ, keep up. No. This is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand. You fibber. Order, order. As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking.
Are you okay, Nick?
Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it? How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? Well, I don't think he has a grudge against Max or his dreaming, and Mo seems to think this is the real culprit. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Oh, I almost did it Francisca's voice for Phoenix. That's a funny one. Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. Fucking Disney princess ass. He's calm enough for it to be almost scary. He is staying rather calm and collected. This is such a good spray. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things.
See, even a sliver. I said slimmer. I don't know slimmer. Das ist ein Slimmer.
Ja oder nicht? Ja oder nein?
See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous.
Now I can't look at the word sliver. Slimmer. I know slimmer is a word, but I was thinking of it as a noun. It's just like, scheiße. Ja oder nein? And then they're like, what is she talking about? She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man.
Phoenix is a poopy head.
Yeah, that's a good one.
See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
You are ein Loser. If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I don't know how to read any of my lines today, I'm so sorry. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well? I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? No. I don't think so. From both the logic and what I remember. I don't think that he did. I don't think he needed one. Now then. This must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Oh, did I hit no? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there we go. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There's some good lines in this. There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Well, kind of. Mostly. Order. Order. What are you getting at? Was ist das? He just starts speaking. I barely remember any German. But I'm pulling out what I remember. Franziska on the phone, she's like, he gives me such Fremdschämen.
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick.
Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry.
Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that?
I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
Okay, this isn't League of Legends. Shut up. All right, then let's do it.
You know what, today's really fun because I'm in like a headspace of just kind of like silly before I get too tired, and it timed really well for a stream. Anyway, Mr. Phoenix Wright, if this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Ja oder nein? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear up something for me. When the crime was committed, where exactly was Mr. Dingling? Well, he was in his room. He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room. Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? Okay, hold on. Really quick anecdote. One of my Japanese friends, when she was like first learning English, like colloquialisms, because like her English is really good. But when she was first learning colloquialism, she loved the phrase "Are you nuts?" And so like I would try to teach the other guys in our club like, "Girl, can I buy you a drink?" And then she'd go, "Are you nuts?" in response. And so I can't think of this phrase without thinking of her.
What say you, Mr. Dingling?
It's an interesting theory. That's it? Considering that what you were proposed is impossible, yes, that's it.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
as the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible.
Nuh-uh.
As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime.
That's true.
He goes, "Ooh."
Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he?
Why is Russell Berry built like Dr. Eggman? But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. What a dumb thing to say. I love him.
Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here...
She's right. I can't mess this up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
Okay. I'm going to present some evidence.
So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Mr. Russell Berry?
I think what I need to show is this. Or no, do I have a picture of that on its own? Yeah, this.
What's that? A picture?
It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture.
The bust.
It's quite a large bust. And I know large busts. So Edgeworth, if you're out there. It's quite a large bust. And because it's life-size, it's also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window.
Ah!
See? This is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Happy Pride.
Order! Order! So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster?
A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Have you seen the man in the witness stand, Fran? I know you're a lesbian, but like, look at his arms. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He's ripped. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. He could probably carry me.
Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well,
Acro's at a loss for words.
he should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Get him. Well, 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 Acro. You can't run away this— Ow! I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
Von Karma, She's just using this testimony as a rouse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony.
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you. Ugh, that woman will sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I have no doubts in regards to this witness's shared testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination.
He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. I'm shaming.
And then he's like, oh, so we're friends? And she's like, nah. I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Have you ever lifted up the bust before? No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this. Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bust before? Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling. Strong upper body. So, what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or tightrope. You don't say. But no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything.
Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. Would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or acro? And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. Hey, welcome, welcome. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bust out of the window? There's no way.
No way.
You'd also have to have like a fair amount of core strength and like that lower, like I'm really curious, they never go into the details about like his injury, but I'm curious if it's just his legs or like his hip and lower core, because like your pelvic floor is also really important for lifting things if you're sitting. Anyway, how long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. You're finally done with the Cuphead DLC, so you got all the trophies for DLC plus main game. Wow, that's impressive. That game is super hard. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation, but it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. I've never been happier to delete a game in my entire life than this one. I am so not doubting you on that. That's so valid.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window.
Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window? Thus, there's no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you've got a point.
Hey, Nick.
Huh?
What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow that Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. If all I had to do was drop it, you're right, I could have done that. However, there is no way I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? Acro was strong enough to lift up the bust.
The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head.
I'm at the end of this case. I wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster.
That's the ticket, Nick. Show him what you've got.
I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with the case.
I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. But maybe we overlooked something.
Ouch. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Let's look at the evidence. One thing I really appreciate the later games doing, like pretty consistently, is when you're done with a piece of evidence that they just get rid of it for you. They do like a sweep of your evidence when you have a lot of it. Because it's like, this is done. You know what I mean? Okay, I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, this is a marker in a way. Because the note, hold on. Yeah, okay. Acro. When you first played this, I actually got a game over because of the clown. Yeah, I've done that before. You didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job hinting. Yes, yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. I should probably stop playing with these scissors, huh? I'm gonna put these away. Sorry, I have a pair of scissors nearby because I was working on sewing something earlier. Or cross-stitching more precisely, but... Maybe you should take a look at this. A phonograph. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over? The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Because we know from Ben's testimony that when they saw the person walking, there was no mention of this person carrying the box. So the box had to have already been there at the scene of the crime. That's what I was thinking in my head earlier when I got really quiet. Because I remembered the box was relevant. Who? That's what I'm saying. When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I'm a genius. I've played this case before. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Or when to open it, I guess. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean... If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No! Sorry, I was thinking about yeah or the 9. Again, that was really funny. That's definitely my favorite thing I've made Fran say. My goal in streaming this is just to have fun and make the characters say stupid shit that they might actually say, but don't. Order, order, order! This is unbelievable! Finally, some of the loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward. So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. Phoenix, right? Ow, ow, ow! The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. It was really heavy and had a strong lock. It had multiple. It was like a pretty heavy box, right? Yeah. The box is of remarkable weight. Weight? According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required. Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and then lift up with their body, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I guess. That's how you're supposed to do it, but do people actually do that? No. I've worked in places where I've seen lots of people lift boxes improperly. That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That's correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Also, the bust is pretty big. Fool! Do you think he gets diseases from kissing those birds? Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? Phoenix and I are no longer on the same page, unfortunately. I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skill. Let me try that one again. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? I remember. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria. Then what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah, that means... You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? I don't know, put it in your fucking lap? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that! Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Ugh. See, this is what I was saying. Well, not really, mostly. Tell us exactly. I can't... It's hard. It's hard. English is hard. I hate it. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. And why with the bust? Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. What kind of bullshit are you going to say this time? How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room? Well, he already fucking said that money did it. A monkey.
Everyone knows Money. He just loves shiny objects of any size. Can you imagine this monkey ripping out your belly button ring? Alright, I'll shut up.
Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room!
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Nightmare material. Yeah, sorry. The intrusive thoughts are winning today. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. Damn.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro, you're grounded. Money is a strong monkey, right? You literally said so earlier. It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Order. Order, I said order. Ms. Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events.
Buff monkey, a bunkie. That probably means something bad. Let me look up. Hold on. Is that a word? It sounds like it could be. Oh, it means full of nonsense. Okay, well that fits.
But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon.
Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon? Purely by accident?
It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. That could have easily have been the sousaphone. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! I wonder if in the Japanese she says, like, I know she says baka na baka, but if she says aho there, or something, some other variation.
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that.
Ow! Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Ah! There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
Now, that's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Heck, don't let her beat you now.
I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? He saw Max's Ow! I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with this question. Au contraire, mon frère! She's like, I'm German! Not French. You fucking racist moron! Ignorant I hate Americans.
was really funny. And then what does this mean? Mon frère. Is that like, ma'am? My lady? Anyway, it does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is that possible? It's simple, really. On the contrary, my brother. He literally said, bro, shut up a second, sir. That's really funny. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What is your hyperfixation with the bust? I know you haven't been laid in like a year, but don't bring it into the courtroom. What are you talking about? Have you not tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in the right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance in this case, don't you agree? No. No, it's not. He caught me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? He's the one who had the cloak. So it has to be him. Fool! Him? You're saying that it was the victim himself, Russell Berry. That's what I'm saying. The victim himself, placed the cloak on the bust. Placed the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. It might be a song title. Oh, interesting. I can't think of Au contraire without thinking of the Harry Potter Puppet Pals, I think it is, where he's like, Au contraire, Snape-a-doodle. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust, and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window, directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room, and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Or perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now, this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim. I love this game, actually. This shit's silly.
You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Ms. Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet.
What?
The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused this sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. primarily because, in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. This is peak Ace Attorney logic. People are like, this is so dumb. But there's shit in the third game that's also this dumb, and no one talks about that. They think that's funny. Like, this is funny. It's funny. It's funny. This is not my complaint about this part is not my complaint about this case. The predatory men is the complaint. It wasn't necessary. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. You cannot criticize this logic when this game has people who channel people from the dead the way that they do. And where he has to turn over the thing to have the receipt in the second case of the first game. That's stupid. That's stupid. But it's funny. This is stupid and it's funny, okay? Tired of the haters hating for the wrong reason. Pick a good reason to hate this. I don't remember if I took this. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. What, no applause or what? So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could have only been you.
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us.
He sure has, but he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now?
You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that our fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
Sir, I wish you would do your job better. In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, he said he want evidence.
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Quit jabbering. Will you ladies quit chattering? Present some evidence to the court that backs up your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. Okay. I don't remember Mo's testimony very well. That was a lot of weeks ago. So, he didn't see the white flowers, right? I think that's the issue. He didn't see the white flowers, so the cape would have had to have been positioned in a way where the white flowers were hidden, but Ben saw them. That's what I would guess. I wouldn't call that super hard logic, but like, let's try. Hell yeah. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, sorry, I just imagined Fran saying, what is bro yapping about? However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of. Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction?
Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away.
Can you...
Well, I almost gave her the judge's voice.
Can you do it, Nick?
Of course. I can explain all of it. Yeah, sure.
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust.
If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Ah! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses weren't visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Order! Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. I'm having fun.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Val and Carmen will finally throw in that towel. Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now.
What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Acro's motive. It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. Stay hydrated, everybody. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. And the stream will now take a 2-minute break. I'm just gonna fill up my water really fast. 2 minutes. Or else. 2 minutes or else. Okay, bye. Okay, 2 minutes are up. Hope you're back. Ooh. Speaking of backs. Oh, okay. I didn't want to cancel stream today, but my back does hurt. So I will be laying on my couch. Or my bed
for the rest of the day after this. Anyway. I can't believe it. Acro! It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is, and to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jesus, am I that hated?
Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
He did. Psst. Psst. but I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why.
Hey pal, you're gonna ignore me after I went all the trouble to bring you some evidence?
Ah, Detective Gumshoe!
Oh, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, detective. I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little?
We've got some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick, detective? Oh, well, if you insist.
Now about that evidence you mentioned, what is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room.
Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Van Karma be mad that you're doing this?
That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up to now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Miss Van Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set in motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me, I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part.
I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing.
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. Looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. Good luck ever shitting again. An entire dairy's worth of milk. For me? This is weird. This is a weird case. It's just weird. Court is now back in session after that weird segue. Ms. Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Let me actually look at what's our new evidence? Oh, that's right.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Ooh.
When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. Child stars. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. Okay, I believe you. I do believe him.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. Hold on, I'm bringing my mic a little closer so I don't have to lean. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Let's go ahead and do it. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness.
She She's like, you don't care about justice. He's like, you don't either. She's like, I never claimed to. We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. Oh yeah, I forgot that's his real name.
What? You have a brother?
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get to this. How old were you when this happened, Akvo? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Wow, that sucks.
Your parents were very cruel, weren't they?
Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us. Tying back my hair really fast, sorry. Because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus.
Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed.
He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like.
Ow!
Oh, ow! Uh-oh. No crying in court. Let's keep going.
The witness may proceed with his testimony.
I forgot his voice again for a second there. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had.
What about other people at the circus?
This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him.
Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person?
I know. He seems like such a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult.
So then, how long have you been a performer?
You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? Haven't you ever seen Dance Moms? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name. What a wretched joke to make. This man's in a wheelchair. Who did this part of the localization? I just want to talk. I've even heard of them in Germany. Liar. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus.
You're truly a remarkable young man.
Judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole... Oh, you already said this, sorry. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? How? How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? I don't know, I'm just saying there are child predators and people who take advantage of children as child stars. Not that that's at the forefront of my mind because of the JoJo Siwa video I watched or anything. You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! 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 Ow!
No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor.
Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them.
I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk.
I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would just like to know.
Hold on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought 1 second, okay?
Can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want to kill the ring, or want to kill him dead?
I can't.
Nick?
Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
Oh, what?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like the foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? Ja oder nein? I believed it was. This is the real killer of Russell Berry, Ringmaster.
If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Acro, you didn't plan to kill the Ringmaster at all, did you? The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night.
What did you just say?
I'm just saying, that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the Ringmaster. I don't know if you can hear me slap my thigh there. I talk with my hands when I do their lines, because I don't know, it helps me like be in the character more. I do it more with these characters than I have with any other thing that I voiced. But it's so necessary. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with.
What? Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else?
There's a lot of things I could put here. There's this, there's this, there's this, there's this. What do they want? Do they want the person who he's trying to kill? Or do they want the evidence? Don't answer. Don't answer that. Do they want... Okay, so she's saying... Hold on. She's saying... Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? I would assume she's talking about... Okay, phew.
Regina Berry? This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to do is say, you're wrong. That's it.
That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough. Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Damn, that's really cool. I don't remember that line, but that's a really hardcore line anyway.
Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now!
I have so much. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. I don't even know where to begin with it, is the problem, actually.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
Okay, I guess we should start here, because this he specifically must have placed in her pocket. Okay, and then we build off that. Okay, that makes sense. Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the Ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, To the Murderer. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 o'clock p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, but there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the Ringmaster.
You mean it wasn't for the...
That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry.
Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours...
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board.
That's when her father, I mean the Ringmaster, saw the note?
That's correct. The Ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force in my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived at the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
I've got it. Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he let the bust fly.
Hey, Nick. Isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience?
She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here.
I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish, you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell me about this line, or tell us about this line. I want to know. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes? What about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you?
What? What did you just say?
The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
Did none of you do any research? None of you did any research. Okay, the incident 6 months ago, I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time.
Moron! Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago.
Really, Nick?
I think so.
Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note?
I know, I'd certainly like to know what it is. I can't answer that question. The judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually... Oh dear. There's like... I would guess it's this, right? I'm gonna go with this.
What? This is it?
Well, I kind of figured, okay, fine. So then, okay. Whoops.
Please present conclusive evidence.
Okay. Is it his brother itself? What?
This is it? Okay, well, I don't fucking know.
Okay. There's so much evidence that I don't... There's so much evidence. Is it this?
Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you ask for.
What do you mean?
I don't understand how the scarf isn't more decisive, but okay. See, that's a piece of logic I would be frustrated with, because that feels more decisive. It has blood on it and the pepper, so... Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Okay, that's fair.
Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright, so what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Barry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper?
Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Barry's intended victim?
Who is this?
That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. We also learned that he's in the coma and, like, may never come out of the coma. I feel like that's important to note.
Regina, she did that to him.
Sorry, I'm just saving because I could die at any moment. Isn't that just the truth?
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
Lion?
Miss Regina Berry, is an animal tamer by trade.
Well, are you on a first-name basis with her, or what?
However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Ms. Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So then what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident?
It was more than that. The lion biting Bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh, the sirens are coming for me. Jokes have been too funny today. I'm under arrest.
There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being.
She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being. Sorry. But Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother, Bat.
That's just a scarf.
It's covered in blood. You fucking idiot. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear. Correct? Is it in his profile picture, actually? It's not. Okay. That's right. And who was the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina?
There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor.
And what might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper.
Pepper. Oh, sorry. Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal.
Your Honor, can I ask you to never word it like that ever again?
But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
It still seems like the judge just doesn't get it.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling.
Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling. However,
Lions sneeze.
Whoa.
Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf.
What? You fool! You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object for objection's sake.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it?
You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened?
Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot! It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true?
Acro!
You don't mean, you can't mean, a witness!
Are you confirming that the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
What would that problem be?
The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I dropped Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim?
You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise. The murder weapon.
The bust that the defense claims was used.
And we're back to the bust.
If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be. The bust.
Nick, you've got to do something!
Let me think, Maya. Stop yelling. This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. I would think that they already have searched his room. Because I remember where it be. It might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but why are you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Comma total justice. I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. Yeah, she wouldn't.
A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
Oh, what did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright? The bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by a complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story.
Well, first of all, I love Gumshoe, but I don't expect that he did the most thorough job. Just because it's him. Excuse me. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. It looks like you lack the final nail to put in my coffin. But what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that's relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Do something, Nick! Don't let this case slip away! Bust! Where is it now?
Thank you for the bless you. Where's the bust right now?
You're Phoenix Wright! You know where that bust is! I'm sure you do!
There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? Hold on, I'm gonna blow my nose really fast. Okay, we're good.
It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness.
Oh? That it? Oh, hell yeah.
Hold it! Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to present its what? Lace? I mean case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue.
What?
What? We need time to do what? Ow! How are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Are you asking me?
The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck.
Hey, wait, you can't be serious. Yeah, this game's not my favorite soundtrack, but it does have some really great songs in it, especially the fourth case.
Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well. The defense may proceed.
He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim. The only way through is forward.
The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now?
Somewhere in this courtroom, Francisca. It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom.
It's obviously where?
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. Acro, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there, behind the judge. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Ms. Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, and the only place that you could hide it, under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played.
You fool! How could you?
You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, 2 of them.
2 of them?
Ms. Francisca Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were 2 pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was underneath this wheelchair. It is funny that Phoenix is the only one to think it's under the wheelchair because somebody had to have wheeled him around at some point, right? Like, did they not notice how heavy he was? Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon? There's no way I can escape that. So, you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Ms. Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing.
Sorry, my Fran Maya goggles were... I was talking to my friend about Fran Maya for an extended period of time yesterday. Uh-huh. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't.
I can't believe it. Me make a mistake. Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that.
It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro,
Yes, Your Honor.
did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime.
Hagrill.
All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Her brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently while saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina.
How dreadful.
So are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict.
Hot Milky. And Max is like, Hot Milky, where?
This court is adjourned.
Bye. Okay, bye. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this.
Aggro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh?
That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only at max 1,000,000 of them. But thank you. What's with the vibe in this room?
You're just thinking about Aggro.
No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy.
Huh?
She's been like this for a while now.
It's all my fault!
Sweetie pie.
Pat and Aggro, never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina? Mr. Wright? Tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina?
Aggro said something right at the end.
I just couldn't up and leave yet.
taking his revenge on me?
I don't think so. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina.
Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that.
Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore.
If that's true, then I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
I want to know you're not just making that stuff up about Acro not wanting revenge.
I don't know. I would say he was saying it for bad. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again.
Pat? That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught. I know.
What?
I'll do it. I'll stay next to Pat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes. And then until he can meet Acro again.
That's so sweet of you, Regina.
I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Pat.
Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max. What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? Ah, that's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone's sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? Their voices are too similar. I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus the world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen. Don't laugh. That's quite the goal.
Yee, I can't wait.
And I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Max, let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? We gotta work together to make the Very Big Circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mo.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Very Big Circus without Regina Barry.
Max. Nick?
It seems like everything is going to turn out all right here.
I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen.
We'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats. I'm so done doing your voice. I see. What made the case? Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought that this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. You mean Mr. Wright? Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Squeezes him, shakes him, dunks him in water. I missed him. I missed doing his voice. I missed him. As if I don't interact with something with his face on it every day of my life. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait. Okay, next case is gonna be so... I love Farewell My Turnabout. It makes me crazy. I'm so... Just a warning. Just a heads up warning. I'm gonna be so crazy during the finale of this case. Like, this case. This case entirely. The finale of this game. I will be so crazy the entire time. I'm so sorry. But I hope you look forward to it. I'm super excited. You like Edgeworth these days? Yeah. At first I was pretty neutral on him, and then I kind of like went through a phase where I was like, it was hard because he reminds me a lot of myself. So it's hard to look at someone who has all of your worst qualities. Even in fiction. So, at first I was like, meh. But then, I was like, okay, I really do like him. Now I like him even more. Anyway, Thursday, more of this. I really am going to try to do a thumbnail so that we can do Saturday night stream. If not this week, next week, for sure. But I'm really gonna try for like a 6 p.m. my time, stream. What am I gonna play? I don't know. Guess you're just gonna have to find out. But I have to work on a thumbnail soon anyway, because I'm gonna have to do the third game for this. So, I don't know. I need to get over my art block. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, Thursday, 2 p.m. my time. Again, for the VOD watchers, this doesn't matter. Feel free to leave. Anyway, you know the drill. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Yeah, go to bed. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you when I see you. And Edgeworth's back.